So yes, here we begin. So I'm Kelvin Uchemefune. I'm the founder of Kelvin Inspires. And perhaps you're listening to me right now and you want to achieve even more in your life. Maybe right now you want to experience more freedom in doing the things that you love, things that give you a sense of satisfaction. Now maybe you have a few questions in your mind today. Well, I have a special guest today, Jessen James. Jessen is one of our special guests here tonight. We had a session last week, same time Thursday, and we had so many questions coming in. As a matter of fact, we were overwhelmed. And today we decided to do another one, which is part of our goal to serve you powerfully. So maybe right now where you are, you've got a few questions, questions such as how, I want to start my business. How can I grow my business to a level that I want it to be? How can I grow my business from 3 figures to 4 figures to 5 figures to 6 figures? Whatever it is right now, you're in the right places. We aim at this particular time to listen to you, your questions, and to be able to help you going forward. And maybe, perhaps you're working 9 to 5 in a day job right now, and part of your goal is to switch over, to make that transition into being your own boss. Maybe that's part of what you want to do. Well, you are in the right place. We're going to share with you our story and tips that can help you get there and do the things that give you a sense of joy, things that give you a sense of satisfaction. So whatever the questions are, and if you've got your questions, we're here to answer your questions today, whatever questions you have. That's why we're here today. So maybe this is where you are. Maybe right now you are on this particular fence. I want to start my business. Well, how do I get off a 9 to 5 job? Do I quit my job immediately? What are the steps? What do I do? Or if you are already in the game doing your own business, your question could be, how can I grow this business? How can I stand out with what I'm doing today? Well, imagine for a moment that where you are right now is a place of satisfaction. Imagine that right now you're doing the things that you love. Imagine for a moment that you're giving the best of your abilities and things are working out right for you. Imagine that you leave your 9 to 5 job and you start your business and you do it so perfectly that you're scaling your business day in, day out. Just imagine that you are in that place right now. Imagine particularly that you go to bed and that you wake up at night you go to bed at night, wake up in the morning just when you're done sleeping. Imagine that you experience financial freedom in doing the things that you love, especially when you do the things that gives you a sense of satisfaction. Imagine that because you are doing your own business and things are happening for you, and you're beginning to have a good, healthy relationship with your wife, with your husband, whoever, maybe because you decide to do what you want to do, what you're set up in your heart to do, and then you're getting this sense of satisfaction, especially as well with your family and your kids. You're doing the things that you love. You're spending time with them because right now your time is being quantified. You're doing the things that gives you a sense of satisfaction. And imagine for a moment that you're experiencing good health as well. What's the point of having so much money right now and then less about your health? But imagine that you are having a good time. Your body is okay. Your body, your mind are all working together. In other words, for you to enjoy the fruit of your labor. And imagine as well that you're experiencing business growth. That's the most important thing right now. Okay, stepping into business is the first step. The second step is scaling that business to a level where you have ultimate freedom in doing the things that you love. And imagine if you're the type as well who would like to give back to the society, give back to your community. Imagine that you have that chance, that opportunity from what you've done with your hands, your gifts, your talents. Out of that, you get the resources to be able to give back to the community. Imagine what kind of life that will be. Now, just imagine where you are right now. Let's just imagine where you are right now. Point A is you are at this place where things are not where you want them to be, where things are short of your expectations, where things are short of your power. Imagine this is where you want to be. You want to be here, where you experience sense of satisfaction, joy, peace, gladness. Oh, great, I can do whatever I want to do. I have the freedom to go where I want to go, the freedom to spend my time with my family and do things that make sense to me. Now, Just imagine that you're there. Now, for you, you would agree with me that to get from point A to point B, there's got to be a strategy. There's got to be something to get you. There's got to be a vehicle to move you from A to B. And that's what we're going to talk about today. What strategy can I use to scale my business? What strategy can I use to get out of the rat race into a job that gives me a sense of satisfaction? Or just imagine, for instance, just imagine you enjoy your job. You enjoy what you're doing. You enjoy the time that you give there. Let's just imagine that you love what you're doing, but you still want to start your business. You don't want to quit your job. You want to carry on with your 9 to 5, but still do your own business. There's got to be a strategy that will take you from A to B. Now, why should you listen to me? Well, let me just tell my story in 2 minutes. We've got so much packed today. So quickly, my story. Okay, I started working in a financial organization, and I was doing it, and I entered into this organization from the very bottom low. I entered in as an advisor, a telephone advisor, and I started at that particular point. And when I went in there, my initial point is I'm going to go there, start up, do this, and from there, 6 months down the line, I'm going to move out or, get promotion, move from the bottom down to the management level. 6 months, 1 year passed by, I was still where I was. I made applications and things were all just getting turned down. And I realized that, wait a minute, to grow here, you've got to be, it's going to be a long shot to grow here. And all of a sudden I say, you know what, the best option for me now is to, I might as well stay where I am and do some more overtime, which is what we call it. You do more overtime, you increase your income. And then when you compare yourselves with your mate who are earning 60,000, 70,000 pounds, you feel, wait a minute, if I do a little bit of overtime, I can catch up with them. But I was doing that. That was the level of my thought. I was doing that for 2 years, 3 years, doing the overtime, trying to catch up with my friends. And then all of a sudden, I burnt out. I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't get to that level again until I met a particular coach who sat me down one day and said, Kelvin, wait a minute. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? And he asked me a powerful question that changed my life. That question changed the way I operated. I began operating my life the way I wake up every morning. The first thing I say, wait a minute, what are you doing, Kelvin? What can you do with your life? What can you do with your life? What are you doing up until today? The powerful question he asked me, he said to me, Kelvin, if everybody all around you right now were to earn £20 an hour, what would you do differently? If the highest amount of money you could ever earn today is £20, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do differently with your life? And for me, that triggered a lot of memories, flashbacks to the days where I was growing up, and my love for motivational talks, and my love for helping people to move forward. Anyway, today, fast forward, I'm doing the things that give me a sense of satisfaction. I wouldn't be able to go into all my story with you today because of the time that we have here today. But that question triggered something deep within my soul, something deep within my heart, the things that I really, really wanted to do. And I decided to give myself a chance. Was it easy? Was it smooth? No. Was it easy? No. It was hard. I had to deal with self-doubt, belief in myself, belief in my opportunities, belief in my own strength and my gifts and my talent, which was the hardest thing ever. But I managed to scale through that limitation, and today I am doing what gives me a sense of satisfaction just from having that same question. And from that same encouragement today, you are listening to me. Today, I am the founder of Kelvin Inspired, which is an initiative to inspire men and women who want to succeed with their lives. Today, I'm a qualified life and business coach. My goal is to help you get to your destination. My goal is to be able to bridge the gap between where you are right now and where you want to go. Part of that same encouragement, I've shared the stage with great men in 3 different continents of the world. The UK, which is where I live now, Nigeria, my home country, and New York. I was invited in June to speak at a youth conference in June, simply because I decided to give myself a chance. I decided to ask myself questions that even made me more uncomfortable, but questions that changed the game for me. And today I'm the host of Kelvin Inspires Mastermind program. and also the host of the Live Beyond Limits radio show, which is aired every Monday at 6 p.m. on internet radio. Because of that same encouragement, things have changed. You're listening to me right now. You know what's going on in your life. You know what's happening in your life. And you know where you're going. You know that this is for you to get to that place. There's got to be a change. And that change has got to come from you. That's what I just said, a radio show. We're live every Monday at 6 p.m. on radioafricana.com. And that was me back in Lagos, January this year, with a bunch of entrepreneurs and CEOs of their own respective companies and businesses, powerful men and women there. And that was me with Leroy Primus, the former footballer for the Portsmouth Football Club. Out of that same encouragement, that same question with that coach triggered a lot of things for me. My life changed around. I started meeting people who were influential, people who were powerful, and who could help me. And that's Andy Economides, the founder of Soteria Trust. And that's me right there in New York, doing the things I love, the things that gives me a sense of satisfaction. So today I'm going to be talking about strategy. What strategy can get you from A to B? Just before we bring in our special guest, and I know most of you have questions that you want to ask, just before we go to that level, I want to talk about something particularly that can help you move you quickly from A to B. And if you employ what it is I'm about to talk to you about, it will save you time, energy, and money 100%. What I'm about to share with you now, if you use it, you would only have to work 80% of the time, work 20% of the time and yield 80% results. A lot of people out there who are working 9 to 5, 20 hours, 80 hours, doing as much as they can, spending 80% of your time only creating 20% of results. If you ignore what I'm about to share with you today, the reverse is the case. You continue to work 80% and yield 20% result. That was where I was before I figured out this strategy. And this powerful strategy is what I call the Q factor. The Q factor. And the Q is the key word there, which stands for questions. What questions are you asking yourself today? What questions are you asking and what questions are you ignoring? When you look at your life, when you look at your business, what questions have you shunned away? What questions are you paying more attention to? My goal right now in this webinar today is to heighten your reverence and appreciation for the questions that come into your heart, that come into your mind. Questions, quality questions create a quality life. Questions liberate your soul. It was Socrates who once said, he says, the enlightenment is not in the answers, but in the questions. That question, what would you do differently, Kelvin, with your life? That question changed the game for me. I don't know what question you need to ask yourself right now. What question you need to ask your business when you look at your business? What's going on? What do you need to pay more attention to? As a Cameroon proverb says, he who asks questions cannot avoid the answers. When you ask the questions, you can't avoid the answers. Now the key here as well is to only ask quality questions. Only ask quality questions. When in the midst of greatness, when in the midst of great people, before you ask questions, one of the things I do for myself is to ask myself, the question I'm about to ask, is it powerful? Is it stupid? Is it unnecessary? And is it useless to my pain? Questions. Ask powerful, empowering questions. No, why am I feeling down today? No, why is my business going down? No, not questions like that, but empowering questions. How can I take my business to the next level? When you ask empowering questions, you move yourself to another level. You move your business to another level. It says successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. What questions are you asking yourself today? Today we're going to be having a special guest who's going to come up very shortly to share his own story. We're going to have question and answer period. When you look at your life now, I want you to pay attention what's going on in your life right now, in your business. What questions can you ask tonight that would change the playing field for you? What questions can you ask today that would change your life, change how you deal with your circumstances, change your income? Questions direct what we focus on. When we focus on a particular question, our attention is there, our focus is there. Someone once said, it says, some men see things as they are and say, why? And I dream of things that never were and say, why not? This was the words of Judge Bernard Shaw. He says that look at situations and say, wait a minute, why not? Why can't I be there? Why can't I be recognized as the best in my field? Why can't I take my business from 0 to 300,000 pounds? What's stopping me from moving forward, moving my business to the next level? These are questions we're going to be dealing with today. Whatever questions you have in your heart today, please feel free to ask those questions. Questions change what you focus on and therefore how you feel. What you focus on determines what you feel, and what you feel determines your action. Questions change what you focus on and therefore how you feel. So my goal tonight is to get you to start asking important, empowering questions that could move you to the next level of your life. Now, examples of questions. If you had to ask questions like, how come I'm so depressed? Or why am I so broke? Why is my business not growing? Or how is it that others around me are making it in business and I'm not? These are limiting questions that make you focus on your limitation. And your mind will automatically look for references and reasons as to why you're depressed, as to reasons as to why you're not making it as much as you want to do so. But when you change these questions to power questions, empowering questions, questions that can move you forward, that can change your life around. It says, well, what if you change the questions and say, hey, wait a minute, how can I grow my business? How can I change my state so that I'm more happy? One of the biggest issues is with money, and a lot of people say, hey, wait a minute, I can't afford it. I can't afford this, I can't afford that, I can't go there, I can't do this because I simply can't afford it. The things you ask yourself is, hey, wait a minute, how can I afford it? When you ask yourself that question, that empowers your brain to begin to search for answers. As a matter of fact, every answer you need right now is right within you. And it only takes the right question to bring out the result, to bring out the right solution to that problem. Someone once said, if you persist long enough in asking empowering questions, you enter into a resourceful state. It changes how you feel, and it changes your actions and your results. And you would agree with me. So very quickly before I bring Jessen on, I want you to just take a moment and look at your life right now. Just a reflection on your life, where you are right now. Look at your life. Imagine that you are out of your life. Imagine that you are standing away from your life and you're looking at your life, staring at it right in the face. Imagine that if you're starting your business, imagine that you're staring at your business right now. You're looking at that business, looking at your life. What questions would you ask yourself? When you look at your life right now, what questions would you ask your life? What questions would you ask your business? And what questions are you ignoring? What empowering questions can you ask right now that will change your life? And you want to write this down. What empowering questions can you ask right now that will change your life? And if you started your business, that will change your turnover. That will change the result that you produce. And if you're about to get into business, what questions can you ask yourself that will push you off the playing game? What questions can you ask yourself? Power questions. And now, I'm going to introduce to you Jessen James. Jessen James is a serial entrepreneur, a business mentor, and a multi-award-winning speaker and a speaker coach. Jessen is a great friend of mine, and he specializes in helping businesses grow from nothing to 300,000 pounds in business. And there are proven records to show you of his success and what he's achieved with his own life. So I'm going to ask Jessen to say hello to everybody right now who's listening.
Hi, Kelvin. How everyone? How are you doing?
We're good, Jessen. We can't wait to have you here again. I mean, last Thursday we had a powerful session, and there were so many questions coming in, wasn't it? So many questions coming in from left, right, and center. And I'm just going to ask the attendees who are listening right now, if you have any questions right now, please put out your questions right away. Put out your questions, and please also let us know where you are tuning in from. Yeah, I can see Victoria. I can see Santaya from Nigeria. I can see, oh, that's great. Connor from Portsmouth. A few people tuning in right now, which is great. Any questions that you have today to answer more of your questions? Now, Jessen, because we've had obviously some few people today who are tuning in for the very first time, and can you just say something a little bit about yourself to our audience today?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, to cut a long story short, I mean, if you'd been with me back in the summer of 2005, you would be standing with me right now in a warehouse in a converted railway arch in Walthamstow, East London. And inside that railway arch, you would find around you, you'd find a luxury bathroom showroom and lots of luxury bathroom tiles and shower rooms and things stock on the shelves. And you see, I just started this business. I was 24 years old. And what we were doing is we were distributing tiles and bathrooms to retailers. So I was importing these from China and selling them on. Now, you know, great idea. However, unfortunately, that business failed in the first 3 months, and I lost £65,000. Now, I don't know about you, but you know, that hurts at any age. But when you're 24 and you've just finished university, I think it hurts a little bit more, right?
Definitely.
So my dad told me it takes a special kind of stupid to do that, Jessen, and I did what he told me to do, which was, you know, go back to work. And you know, we grow up in this this very left-brain society that teaches you to get a good education and go and work for somebody else. And many of us, even people on this call, I'm very sure you've all been told that, to get a good education and go and work for someone else. So I did that. I actually qualified as a mental health nurse at university. So I went back and I worked for one of the largest private mental hospitals in the UK. And I quickly became management because it was a private hospital. And as a manager, I was given sales targets. I had to travel the country and sell their beds. They used to call it bums on beds, is what they used to call it. So you could say I was trying to buy bums for a living, you know, or sell bums for a living. So putting people in these rooms, but you know, it gave me good experience. I made that company £6.5 million in just 2 years, and the summer of 2009, which some of you may recall was the tail end of a recession here. And they actually told me that they don't need me anymore. So they made me redundant, basically. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling very confused at this stage. You know, 1 minute you're told to, you know, go and work for somebody else, and that didn't work. Next thing you're told, you know, you shouldn't really get into business, or, you know, stuff like that. That didn't work. So I was confused. I was thinking, well, what's going on here? But you know what? At that stage, Kelvin, I realized one thing. And everybody listening, you might want to write this down. Nothing in life is secure unless you secure it yourself. Nothing in life is secure unless you secure it yourself. So I left that company with a vow never to work for anybody ever again.
Wow.
And that's purely because I changed my standards. I made a decision. I changed my standards. Now, I started my own healthcare business 6 months later after leaving that company, which I still own today. I quadrupled the income in that business in 2 years. I was able to systemize that business, step away, and become financially free from that business at the age of 31.
Wow.
And that wasn't long ago. That was less than 5 years ago. And I managed to do that, and what it allowed me to do was invest in other businesses. I've bought and sold multiple businesses in health and social care, hair and beauty, property, Now I'm into training and development. I'm a public speaker as well, which I'll come on to in a second. But I realized, a lot of people were asking me, how did you do that? So I started coaching business owners to either start up a business or systemize their current business, step away, make money from that business without actually having to work there, which was fantastic. But I realized there's a big need out there. Many people need that kind of support and help. So I retrained as a professional speaker last year, and I now get to deliver my workshops and training to entrepreneurs and people wanting to get into business. And I deliver that all across the world. I travel, I deliver that. I've won multiple awards for public speaking. I also train people to speak, which is fantastic. And you know what? One thing I can say is being an entrepreneur has given me a blessing of being able to live the life that I've designed for myself. Because it's important for everyone, including people on this call. Is one thing you need to remember, guys, is don't let your environment don't become a product of your environment. Let your environment become a product of you. So design your life the way you want it, and I've been blessed to be able to do that. And I'm happy to say that I've still got a lot more to give and a lot more to do. So I'm just going to enjoy life and help and serve as many people as I can, brother. So that's my story, man.
Wow, that is absolutely powerful. Very inspiring, Jessen. I know because of time we had to summarize that, but Jessen will be with us November 5. If you're in the city of Portsmouth, wherever you are, you've got to be there. We're having a live event, and we'll shed more light about that anyway in due course. But yeah, thank you so much, Jessen, for that powerful story. I listened to someone recently, and he was saying, wait a minute, being an entrepreneur is hard. Most people think it's a job, it's a freelance career, something you just dive into and do whatever you want and get the results. I mean, what are your thoughts there, just in regards to that opinion?
Well, I'm not sure who you were speaking to, but being an entrepreneur isn't hard. Making a decision to be one is hard. Most people are fixed with their current mindset. Every single person in this world, everybody on this call right now, including you and me, have a story that we keep telling ourselves. And for some people, that story is one that inspires them to be more, and for some people, it's a story that keeps them where they are at the moment. So, being an entrepreneur isn't difficult. Being an entrepreneur is essentially you find a problem that people face, and you create a solution for it. That's as simple as it gets. That's business in a nutshell. If someone asks me to define business, that's my definition. Just find a problem that people have, create a solution for it. That's it. Done. Don't care what industry you're in. Healthcare, property, hair and beauty, coaching, whatever, any industry that you're in, find a problem that your clients have, give them a solution. That's how easy being an entrepreneur can be. The hardest part is deciding to become one. That's what I believe.
Right. Wow, that's powerful. Right. We've got a few people who've signed in as well. We've got Ufeli Annie from Stevenage. Thank you for joining in today. And there's a question from Ufeli. It says, the question says, how do you build a quality team with limited funds for salary?
Easy.
Right.
Well, I say it's easy, but this is something that I teach at my lifestyle business bootcamp that I run. I have a whole system on this called the Partnership Polygon, on how I teach people how to create a winning team, and best of all, you don't even have to employ all of them. What I would say to you is, first and foremost, identify who it is in your business that you need, because most people don't actually know who they need. So, for example, there's people out there, they're running businesses, they assume that they need to have a massive team behind them before they get started. But, to be perfectly honest, the first time you get into business, you need to, you're going to find yourself doing a lot of the things yourself. You're going to find yourself wearing many hats. You're going to be a designer. You're going to, I'm very sure there's a lot of people in here who dabbled in trying to create their own logo before, and by you laughing, Kelvin, I'm very sure you're one of them, brother. We've all done it, man. We've all
We've all tried. I put on many caps.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
We've all tried to create our own logo. We've all tried to do this, you know, all those kind of things. We've all tried to be our own, you know, salesperson, you know, all these kind of things. But you know, to answer your question in terms of your caller's question. Sorry, I missed the name. What was the name again of the caller?
Ufele.
Ufele. Yeah. To answer your question, there, and you guys everyone might want to write this down. I believe there are 9 people you need to have in your business.
There we go.
That's it. It's 9 people. So take this, write this down. People pay me a lot of money for this, and it's yours for free tonight, right? So first and foremost, you need to have a CEO and visionary in your business. A CEO and visionary in your business. Now, that's probably you. And if it's not, then we have a problem because it should be you, right? Number 2, you need to have a managing director or a director of operations. At the moment, if you're just getting into business, that's probably still you.
Right.
Number 3, you need to have a sales team. A sales team, right? You need people to be selling for you. If you don't, as a rule of thumb, for every administrative staff you have in your business, you should have 3 salespeople. One person who costs you money. You need to have 3 people who generate you money, right? That's the rule of thumb. Next, you need to have a marketing team. Don't get it mixed up with a sales team. Salespeople are there to get leads and close the deal. That's it. Your marketing team must bring you the leads. Now, preferably, you should have a digital marketing team because most business is done online nowadays, or most leads will be found online. Number 5, you need to have a web designer or web developer, someone who does your work for you. And you know, I've recently changed my web development team because, sad to say, my websites were hacked recently by a competitor of mine. I won't name them. They've denied it. But anyway, it's all good. I'm literally about to launch. Everything happens for a reason. I'm about to launch a brand new stonking website. That's the security on there is the same security that is used for banks. So that's how serious I'm getting now. But I've had to change my web designer and web developing team. You know. But anyway, cut a long story short, you need to have those kind of people in your team. Number 6, you must have a graphic designer, someone who can design logos, artwork, leaflets, you know, things like that for you. You must have an accountant that also provides bookkeeping services.
Right.
Number 8, you must have an administrator or an assistant, so a personal assistant or something of the sort. And number 9, this is crucial for anybody wanting to get into business. You must. If I was to tell you to have any of these, you know, this is the one. You must have a business coach or mentor. If I had a business coach or mentor when I first got into business, I'd be far more successful than what I am today. 100%. The day I started employing coaches and mentors in my life, my whole business changed. You know. So those are the 9 people you need to have in your team. Now, here's the thing. You don't need to employ all of them directly. You can outsource these. There are websites such as Fiverr.com, you know. So Fiverr.com. Apologies if you can hear my young 16-month-old baby crying in the back. I don't know what his brother's doing to him, but they're not alone. Don't worry, their mother's with them, so it's all... Okay. Yeah, you don't have to employ these people. You can outsource them. Outsource them, you know. So, for example, you know, at the moment, if you're just starting business, yes, you should be your own CEO, be the managing director. Sales, there are people out there that you can employ to do sales calls for you on a call basis or hourly rate. Same with marketing, you can outsource that. Web design, you go onto Fiverr right now. There's people that will build you a very basic website for $100 or less. A graphic designer, you can get stuff designed for $5 on Fiverr. Accountants and bookkeepers, again, you can outsource these online. Administrators or assistants, you know, I highly recommend if you're getting into business or you're already in business, you need to have an assistant, a PA. You know, my PA literally runs my life, runs my diary, runs everything for me. You know, and quite frankly, I don't know what I'd do if she wasn't there. You know, I mean, I employ a full-time PA because I obviously have multiple businesses and lots of things to do, but you don't have to have a full-time. I started with a virtual assistant, so I used to buy hours per month and just use what hours I needed, but definitely get one. And business coaches or mentors, you know, whether if you can't afford to put a coach or hire a business mentor or at least go to training where you can benefit directly from mentors, then you know you need to reconsider whether you should be in business or not. Because if you say you can't afford that, my friend, you can't afford not to. That's what I would say. So yeah, those essentially are the people that you need. Now, I dive into this a lot more, obviously, in training. So, you know, sorry if I haven't fully answered your question, but what I'm saying is that you need to have at least these 9 people in your team. And one final point on that, they must match the culture you're trying to create in the business, because you are your business. So I know sometimes when you take it from me, you know, my team that I employ right now, you know, sometimes you have to go through 100 rocks before you find a diamond. That's just the way it is, and that's the same in business. You know, some people can have a fantastic CV. You interview them for a job, and you know suddenly they get on the job and they're the worst person in the world. You know, these things happen. But if you know who you're looking for, personality-wise, then that's the best. I would say first and foremost, hire attitude and train skill.
Right.
Higher attitude and train skill. You know, some of my best workers right now are people who had no qualifications or experience in the industry, but they had the right attitude and they were willing to learn. You know, so that's what I would say in terms of building a team: higher attitude and you know, train the skill up. But make sure you've got those 9 people in your team. So I hope that gave you value in the time that we have.
Right, that's powerful, Jessen. Thank you so much. Remember, Jessen will be with us in November 5 in the city of Portsmouth. Ophelia, I hope that answered your question today. Thank you, Asia, for tuning in as well. You've been in. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And John, thanks for joining us as well. Appreciate your presence here today. Now, Jessen, you know, another quick question that comes to mind is, when you set out as an entrepreneur, what are the things you need to avoid?
What are things you need to avoid?
Yeah.
Well, I tend not to focus on things to avoid. I tend to focus on things to move towards, personally. Because the reason I say that is because most people focus on the negatives, and when you focus on negatives, they expand. So you know, you start seeing more of it. You know, so yes, you know, I tend to focus on what I should be doing more of rather than focusing on what to avoid. But to answer your question, first and foremost, you need to avoid hanging around negative people.
Right.
Avoid it like the plague. Okay. Seriously, because you know they say you're the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, if you're hanging around 5 broke people right now, guess what? You're going to be number 6.
Right.
If you're hanging around 5 negative people, you're going to become number 6. So you got to look around you and say, well, who's around me right now? Because if you know, we're human beings. Every human being, whether you like it or not, has a deep desire to connect and feel like they belong. So when you are hanging around 5 negative people and you're different to them, subconsciously you have you're drawn, you're biologically wired to fit in. So what happens is you just fit in with them and start being negative as well, because it's the easiest thing to do. So why don't you change your circle and hang around 5 successful people instead? Because then you're going to be biologically drawn to fit in with them instead. And I know which one I'd rather fit in with. So ask yourself right now, who are the 5 people you're spending the most time with, and do you need to upgrade your circle of influence? That's what I would say. So that's what I avoid first and foremost. You know.
Okay.
I would avoid get-rich-quick schemes.
Right.
Now, when I say that, I don't want anyone to take offense, but for example, there are many marketing companies out there, for example, that promise you gold and diamonds within the first week of signing up, right? For example, I'm just using network marketing as an example because unfortunately there's a lot of idiots out there who've given the industry a bad name. I have a lot of, I'm not in network marketing myself, but I have a lot of friends who are in high multi-million-dollar positions within these organizations, and they're the real deal. They know what they're doing, right? But there are some people out there that will promise you diamond and gold and tell you that it's going to happen overnight and you're going to be an overnight success. Well, avoid these kind of get-rich-quick schemes. And if you are going to get involved in something, just be mindful that it's not going to happen overnight. Don't set yourself up for failure. Human beings do that all the time. We set ourselves these unrealistic desires. You know. Now, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean you shouldn't dream big, but be mindful of the time frame that you're going to achieve that in. You know. So yes. So avoid get-rich-quick schemes. I'd avoid spending any money until you know for sure that this is something that you're passionate about. So most people want to get into business. If you look at my example, I got into business, I got into tiles and luxury bathrooms. I'm a nurse, for God's sake. What the hell was I doing getting involved in that stuff? Right? It makes no sense. I wasn't passionate about it, so it failed. So where I was passionate about helping people as a clinician, I started my own healthcare company, and guess what? Boom, it blew up, done really well. Why? Because I was passionate about it. Why do I do well now as a business mentor, as a coach, as a speaker? Because I'm passionate about it. So be passionate about what you're doing. Don't spend a dime on your business unless you really want to research something, but really figure out what it is that you're passionate about before you even go down that line. You know, and if any of you are interested, I have a tool that I've created. I actually sell this tool along with another productivity tool that I've got. But I've got a passion finder and a productivity planner. I usually charge £97 for these products to people who buy this from me. But for your guests tonight, Kelvin, if they want it, all they need to do is drop their emails to you, which I'm sure you've got, or say type in the comments box there, say yes, and I can get my team to send that over to you guys free of charge.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful! I'll just drop a note. Thank you so much for that, Jesse.
No worries.
Powerful. There's another question. Thank Kenny. Kenny has joined us today. So we're discussing ways to move on. You instead of your business. There's a question from Connor. Connor was with us last week. Thanks for tuning in today. Question, Jesse, says, are you a believer of wanting to have your employees want to live like you?
Am I a believer in wanting to have my employees live like me?
Want to live like you, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. But here's the thing. Not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Because often when I speak, guaranteed there's always someone in the audience that will ask me this question. But, if everyone's going to be entrepreneurs, who's going to work for you? And simple question, not everybody wants to. What I'm saying is if you're on this call this evening, or you're in one of my rooms, in one of my seminars, normal people don't go to those things, man. The fact that you guys are on this webinar now, this evening, this time, on a Thursday evening when you could be chilling out, watching EastEnders, doing whatever else that you want to do, that you're on this call, tells me you're not normal, and I admire that because it takes some abnormality to become an entrepreneur. So not everybody wants to do that, right? But I encourage my team to be the best they can be. I treat my team very, very well. But here's the thing, most business owners are scared to encourage their employees to do well. Why? Because they believe they will leave and do it themselves. Or they think that that person will become competition and steal my ideas or do this and do that. Well, here's the thing, man. Even if they did that, you can't stop someone from fulfilling or going for their own destiny. That's not your job. That's not your job. You know, let them go, let them do what they're doing. Because one thing's for sure, if you're bulletproof in your work, nobody can ever be competition when it comes to that. You know, so let them do what they want to do. The other thing is, treat your train your employees so well that they could leave if they wanted to, but manage them so they stay. And what I mean by that is treat your employees well. They're people. They are the cogs that turn the wheel. These are the people that make your business what it is. If you don't look after your team, then things are not good. You know, they're not going to feel like they want to follow you. Generally there's two reasons why employees will follow you as an employer or a leader. Number one is because they have to, and number two is because they want to. Now, you're better off working towards getting them to want to follow you rather than have to follow you. Because when people have to do something, they don't actually do it with an open heart.
Right.
But when people want to follow you, they will do things that, you know, you won't even have to ask them. They'll help you. Yeah. So you know, yes, I do encourage my team to live like me. When I say live like me, I think they obviously live within their means. I'm not asking them to get into debt to try and, you know, drive the same car as me, or you know, or something like that. But what I mean is that live life to the full. Do what makes them happy. Do what they're passionate about. And fortunately, my staff are passionate about doing the work that I ask them to do. So that's a blessing.
That's powerful, Jessen. And I think I read somewhere as well. It says, "Great leaders create leaders."
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So whatever you're doing, when people start to show up that way, as powerful leaders themselves, I mean, you let them either go, do whatever they need to do themselves, and then you just carry on doing what you're doing, creating more powerful leaders. As a matter of fact, if people come around you and don't change, then something's wrong somewhere.
Precisely.
Right?
Precisely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It says you're either rubbing off, when you come in contact with people, someone's rubbing off on each other. It's either the other person is rubbing off on you so much that you're making no impact in their own life. So yeah, it's good. You surround yourself with the right people who have visions, who have goals, and obviously who can support your business.
Absolutely.
And another quick question as well, Jessen, is in the area of personal development, how much is enough? When it comes to developing yourself, how much is enough?
I believe in constant improvement. There's a Japanese concept called Kaizen, K-A-I-Z-E-N, Kaizen. Kaizen is about constant and never-ending development, improvement. And there is no such thing as enough when it comes to personal development, because what got you to where you are right now won't keep you there. So you have to continually invest in yourself, you know, whether that's reading a book, whether that's watching a video, whether that's going to a seminar, whether that's retraining in something. Always look to reinvent yourself and do more, because what got you to where you are right now won't keep you there, right? There's never a limit, you know. If there's, as they say, if you're not growing, you're dying. So you got to grow, man. Keep investing in yourself. Don't stop. You know, I personally, my car is a university on wheels. Why? Because I don't listen to the radio, man. I don't listen to. I'm feeding my mind with audiobooks when I drive.
Absolutely.
I'm feeding my book. If you haven't got it, download the Audible app from Amazon. You know, it's cheap to download books to audiobooks, and just instead of listening to music, try listening to you know, if you're traveling to work or you're traveling somewhere, half an hour there, half an hour back. That's an hour of education you could have given yourself instead of listening to who killed who on the bloody news on the radio.
Don't watch the news.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, you know, watch. Be aware of news that's relevant to you and your business. Don't worry about who the next axe murderer is, because it's not going to serve you. So yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful, Jessen. Thank you so much for that. One of the critical things is that I met someone recently as well. Just an off the chance conversation with someone at work, and we were having a conversation, And she was saying to me, "Oh, if I had the opportunity right now, I will just travel the world." And she has a passion for humanitarian service.
Hmm.
And you know, there are a lot of people who right now who are working 9 to 5 and are saying to themselves, "Wait, I've got so much I want to do, but I'm stuck with this job. You know,
Hmm.
either the job isn't giving them the sense of satisfaction that they want for themselves." What is your advice to people who are currently in that position right now and struggling within themselves to make the transition and doing their own business? What is your advice to them?
Make a decision
Mm,
is what I would say. Um, Many people, you've just described what most people do. They wake up in the morning. They wake up in the morning. They I think I've heard this story before. You know, it's not my content. I'm just regurgitating it. I think they wake up in the morning. They eat. They jump out their box of a bed. They go downstairs. They eat cereal out of a box. They jump into their box of a car to go and work in a box. And when they die, they end up in a box. That's what happens, right?
mm,
In life.
mm,
And people go through those motions every single day and complain about it, but they don't do anything about it, right?
mm,
Now,
mm,
here's the thing. Make a decision, man. If you're tired of where you are at right now, it's because you want more out of life. Fine, right? But, you know,
mm.
the number one, most people think, Kelvin, you tell me, what's the number one reason why people don't achieve their dreams? What do you think? What stops people from achieving their dreams?
Their own limitation, personal mindset. From
Hmm.
my opinion, the mindset stops them. They can't see it for themselves,
Hmm. Yeah, they can't see it. You know,
and that
people
just
will say,
stops them at the track. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And some people might say it's fear. Some people might say this. They might say it's that.
Mm,
But do you know what? Those are great answers. But the real reason why people don't achieve their dreams is this:
mm.
they settle for something less.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Mm,
it. Simple
mm,
as that. They settle for
mm,
something less. So I'm asking you guys on this call this evening, are
mm,
you settling for less right now? Because if you are, then clearly define what is more for you. What is it that you want?
mm,
What is it that you want? And then ask yourself, is the current strategy you're using, going to work every day in this job that you hate, is that serving your higher purpose? Is that serving the goal you've set yourself? Because if
mm,
it's not, you need to change it. So that's the first thing I'd say, because most people, they think about getting into business, for example, or leaving their job or whatever it might be. But because they haven't made it a must, it doesn't happen. It
mm,
just remains an idea. Yeah?
mm.
Because most people say, I must go to work tomorrow because I have bills to pay.
Right.
Well, why don't you say to yourself, I must start my own business because I want to live life on my terms? Why don't you
Mm,
say that as well? Yeah.
mm,
So
mm,
make a decision. Don't stay where you are right now. If you genuinely want to move, then make a decision. I'd encourage all of you on this call right now, if you're working for someone right now, set yourself a date 6 months from now of when you're going to hand in your notice.
mm, mm,
Do it.
mm,
Do it.
mm.
Don't just
That's
say it.
powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would say.
Mm. And yeah, I remember having that conversation with you powerfully. Pick a date, set a date right there when
Hmm.
you want to quit. And I think that's a very powerful tool. And you know, you said one of the things you're saying, you're reiterating questions. Like I said initially at the beginning of this call, what questions are you asking yourself?
Hmm.
What date do you want to set out and start your own business? If you're in business, how much exactly do you want to create with what you do? What exactly do you want to do? What impact do you want to create with your business? What financial rewards do you want to create? Exactly how much? I think when we get clear and precise about what we truly want, then we begin to take action.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think one of the
No,
things
you're
that really,
absolutely right.
yeah, one thing that really stops people from taking action is they don't know exactly what they want. It's right in the head. This is what I want. But if you were to put you on a seat, imagine you're on a seat. Who wants to be a millionaire right now? And we said to you, what do you want? What would be your answer? What would be your answer? Okay, you want a Jaguar. Okay, what color of the Jaguar do you want? Do you want it free? Do you want it leased? Do you want to pay gradually for it, or do you want it completely yours? I think when we get to the bottom, those questions, those are the questions you get to ask yourself, especially when you are in the presence of a coach, a mentor, a business coach, who can question you, who can ask you questions that may make you uncomfortable. But you only grow when you get into a place of uncomfortability, when you are at your edge. And that's what we do as coaches, as mentors. We take you to a place where you rather probably would not even take yourself there, because you want to be easy on yourself. You want to PT yourself. But we stretch you. We take you there. We put you on the seat and ask you power questions that can bring out the results. Jessen said it already. You got to get yourself a coach. If you want to play in this game, this business, you want to come out as an entrepreneur right now and do something that you love and create the kind of lifestyle. That's your word, Jessen, lifestyle business. You want to create a lifestyle business. You've got to put yourself there and invest in your own development.
That's true. Right, so true. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. And I think most people who are struggling right now, perhaps you're struggling financially, and you genuinely don't have the funds to hire a coach, then you've got a couple of options. You know, either find some events to go to that are either low paid or free, where you get to learn from business owners and entrepreneurs, or find a role model, find a friend, find someone who's doing more than you, and ask them, look, can you show me? Can you help me? Get them to invest in you, because once you start making the money, then you can start hiring professionals to help you out. But don't just say, because I don't have money, I can't get a mentor. There are mentors all around you. There are people all around you. I'm blessed to be able to say that not only do I pay mentors, but I'm also surrounded by a very high influential social network who I get to bounce questions and ideas off. I can pick up the phone and ring pretty much anyone in any industry, property, whatever, it doesn't matter, and have a mentor on the other end of the phone, because of the network I've built around me. So start building a good network of people around you, and great things will happen for you.
That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. And I'm in the same place where you are, Jessen. I'm great to I'm glad to be your friend. Eh? I'm glad to be associated with who you are. Yeah, because my life's changed. My business has changed since coming in contact with you. And hey, what are you waiting for? If you, absolutely. If you've got something inside of you, you need to build network. You need to get someone to help you. And Connor is saying, network is key. Yeah, thank you, Connor, for that comment. He says, it's key. And he says it in partnership. Yeah, brilliant, Connor. It's just saying exactly what we're talking about here. He's in, networking with powerful people. And Connor, we need to have a chat. And the good thing is Jessen will be with us live in the city of Portsmouth. I say with us because I'm in Portsmouth, and he's going to be there. We're organizing a one-day boot camp for small business owners, for entrepreneurs, for startup entrepreneurs, for people who want to set out in business. Or if you're not still sure where you want to go in the area of business, but you've got a few ideas lurking right there within you, we want you to be here especially. This is going to be an event. We've created 6 hours for you. It's going to be a Holiday Inn on November 5, a Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wherever you are in the UK, if you certainly can't make it, we've got good rates going on at the hotel. You can, good rates. You just send me an email. So the ticket is £30 to be there. Part of our last conversation here, when Jessen spoke last week, he talked about the power of service, serve. And one of the things we want to do is we don't want to make money a limiting barrier between working with you in the future, wherever you are now. So part of what we've organized here is a special offer. You buy one ticket online for £30, you get one free. So what you have to do is buy the first ticket online for £30, and then you get an email automatically with a voucher code for a free ticket, which you then use. Obviously, you go back again and apply as if you're paying for a new ticket, but then you use the code, you get it free. So you get a free ticket. I don't know, get your partners, get your friends, your husbands, your wife, your lovers, your enemies, get everybody down there November 5, it's going to be a power-packed session. Because of time, we've just gone 1 minute above our time today. It's been so many questions that are still coming through. We can't answer all of them due to the nature of time. But how perfect would it be for you to have that conversation with us on the same day, 6 hours with us? 1 hour is never enough. I spend 2 hours with my clients. It's never enough. We keep going on and keep going on. But when you come on that day, we're going to have question and answer sessions where you can ask your questions. Jessen is going to be there, and Jessen, we're very grateful, is going to be there. He's going to share and impact you powerfully and answer your questions and share from his heart. He's a great guy who just want to help a lot of young entrepreneurs who are out there who want to set up their own business. And one of the things that you'll also get today is on my website, Kelvin Inspires, www.kelvininspires.com. You can download any of our audio programs. They're completely out there, very accessible to you. As a matter of fact, you get a 50% discount using Bootcamp 50. So remember that, Bootcamp 50. You get that. You use that to download anything. You get a 50%. Jessen, I mean, it's been a pleasure having you today. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man.
And Jessen is going to be with us. So please make your question, get your questions together, get your friends. You know someone who might need to hear something from this, who might gain 1 or 2 things from being at the event with us. Why not get them over? Bring your partners, your business partners, your team, get them together. Let them get the same information that you are getting so that they can be empowered, your business can grow to the next level. And that's it. So yeah, you do that. We look forward to having you again. And this is how we end the night today. So Jessen, thank you so much for your contribution to this webinar today. Any questions, please send me questions. Send me an email. My email is right there. Talk to me at kelvininspires.com. You can find me on Instagram, Kelvin Inspires, on Twitter, Kelvin Inspires, on Facebook, Kelvin Inspires as well. And also, you can also find Jessen James. Let me just put that really quick here. Jessen James, you can find him as well online, and he's ever ready to listen to you. And we've got power programs that will help you. And it's good night from here. Hey, Jessen, thank you. So we have a
pleasure, man. Just like I said, just connect with me on Facebook. Search for me on Jessen James, or on Twitter at Jessen James 7, at Jessen James number 7. I don't know why it's number 7. Apparently numbers 1 to 6 were taken already, but it's at Jessen James 7. And just to add to what you were saying, Kelvin, at the bootcamp in Portsmouth, we're going to be, I'm going to be personally sharing with you exactly how to start your business, what strategies you need to do to start that, but not only do that, but start a business that you're actually passionate about and will make you money. I'm going to share with you how to start a business with 0 money. So you don't need the money to start a business. I'll show you how to do that. And yeah, like you said, come along, ask us any questions that you have. But it's not just about questions. I'm going to be teaching you strategies that I've used, not just for myself, but for my clients as well. So, you know, I think for £30 per man, that's an absolute bargain, because I charge thousands of pounds for my time.
Absolutely.
So it's an honor to be able to, serve you guys. And I wouldn't want money to be a barrier to entry to working with me. So, by all means, £30, buy one get one free is an absolute bargain. So look forward to seeing you guys there, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jessen, for saying that. Yeah, it's this session tonight. It would have cost thousands of pounds right there, but we're giving it free because we want to be able to reach out to you. We know there are a lot of people today who want to step out in their own business, and obviously, the more you succeed, we succeed. You're our story. You're part of our story. So we definitely want to get that opportunity to work for you. So you come in on that day, and then we get it rolling. I think that's it. And yes, a question from Victoria. Victoria, thanks for joining in. She's saying, are we going to get this recording today? Yes, you are going to get the recording after today. Tomorrow, you get an email from us with today's live recording, so you can play it over and over again and share with your friends. Will be a blessing to you. And thank you once more. Thank you again. Good night.
Awesome.
Good night from here. Take care now. Bye-bye.